Imagine not being able to read the paper because your hands were shaking. Imagine not being able to read newsprint as your world faded to black. The National Federation of the Blind, Newsline, Indiana. With your host, Lee Martin, and co-host, Florence Myers-McSwine.
We want to welcome you to the National Federation of the Blind Newsline show. And today we have a very good, energetic show, something a little bit different than what we're normally talking about. And I'm sure that you will enjoy this particular show today. So, Florence, talk a little bit about National Federation of the Blind Newsline.
I can certainly do that, Lee. The National Federation of the Blind Newsline is a free service for the blind and visually impaired. It gives us access to newspapers, magazines, TV guide listings, Walmart, Target circulars. It gives us information about job listings and a wealth of information. And we use it, we access the service through the use of our iPhones, Androids, computers, Victor Reader Strings, digital player from the Talking Book and Braille Library, as well as Alexa. And I love reading the newspapers, Lee. I also love reading magazines. This morning, for instance, I went through and I saw some that were for children, but I thought it was interesting. They have highlights for children. They have, Family Fun, Family Circle. They also have Stone Soup. Is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stone Soup magazine. And they also have WebMD. I really enjoy reading WebMD magazine as well. So there is a wealth of information for everyone, as I always say.
And in regards to our show today, which is talking about physical fitness, mm-hmm. There's a lot of information out there for, we'll start like with the seniors in the AARP magazine, yes, on health and physical fitness.
And there's Shape magazine also.
Yeah, there's Diabetic Living, mm-hmm. The OK magazine, a lot of good information in there on the body. There's also a runner's magazine, and blind people do participate in all kinds of activities, and running is one of them. Shape magazine, as Florence just mentioned. Sporting news is very important to a lot of us. And so there's a wealth of information out there regarding physical fitness. And we'll be right back with our guest to talk more about physical fitness. And just stay tuned and, get your treadmills together and get your tennis shoes on, and let's get ready to rock. We'll be right back.
If you or someone you know is visually impaired or print challenged, the National Federation of the Blind has a resource you need.
I use NFB Newsline when reading Hammond Northwest Times.
Using NFB Newsline, I read the Christian Science magazine.
Dad, you read your Jerusalem Post, too.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
Live the life you want. Read NFB Newsline.
It's free.
I am a blind vendor, and one of the things that I truly miss is reading Vending Times magazine.
Hoosiers can hear Indiana magazines, circulars, national magazines, and information from across the globe. Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
It is a fantastic service.
Subscribe free to NFB Newsline today.
Welcome to this week's National Federation of the Blind Newsline Indiana show. Today, as our host has mentioned, is our show is a little different. We have the honor of our special guest today, Miss Angela Coors, who is a fitness trainer at Live Right Fitness in Indianapolis. So, Angela, thank you for coming to the show.
Excuse me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm trying to get my stretching in there, Angela, because I know we're going to do some things today, you know. So I'm just doing a few chair exercises. Okay.
So, Angela, you prefer Angie?
Either one is perfectly fine.
Okay, so you're a fitness trainer.
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about you, Angie.
Well, I grew up in the Indianapolis area. I went to the local schools. When I graduated from Chittard High School, then I went to Purdue University, where I got my degree in health and fitness from Purdue. And that's how I hooked up with Live Right Fitness, which is the gym I do personally train at. I always played sports when I was younger. My parents always, you know, got us outdoors playing. We belonged to the local swimming place in the neighborhood where they'd take us. And we had to learn swim lessons. That's the most important thing. Everybody should learn how to swim. But since I liked the fitness field and I played sports when I was younger, I said, let's go. I like helping people. The benefits of health and eating right are just, you can prevent so many things. You can get off medicine. It's a wide open area of just making yourself better and just feeling better all along.
Now, you mentioned that your parents encourage you to get out and be physically active.
Yeah, they wanted us out of the house. There were too many of us.
So, I met your dad.
Yes.
And I know that he's legally blind.
Correct.
And you say your mother is totally blind?
Yes.
Okay, and you were raised by your parents in your household?
Yes.
With 7 children?
Yes.
And it just goes to prove that, you know, just looking at you and your success and your siblings' successes in life, that blind parents can be just as loving and productive parents and guiding their children to adulthood to become successful.
Oh, yeah. No, it has no factor on raising children. If you can see or not, there's always things you can do. Like when we were younger, my mom, so she could hear us in the house, she'd just put bells on our tennis shoe laces. If she couldn't hear you, you were probably doing something you weren't supposed to be doing.
So Ring My Bell was one of the songs in the household, imagine.
Yes.
So that is great to hear, because in our societies there are those that feel like, you know, because of your vision, that your blindness, that you can't be a competent parent, you know. So thanks for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
And you say your mom now, she's a swimming instructor?
So yeah, she doesn't do it as much because, you know. But yeah, she did get certified to teach water aerobics. She takes water aerobics at the neighborhood place, the Riviera Club. And when the regular instructor can't teach, she'll sub and teach the class.
You know, I think that's interesting, Angie, because water aerobics was one of the things that I actually had thought about taking. However, I was thinking that I wouldn't be able to, because I felt that instructors have to be very detailed when instructing the class. So that just goes to show that that is something that I could actually do. So thank you.
Oh, definitely. Well, with water aerobics, you actually have to be descriptive, because the instructor is usually in the pool, so and you can't really see what the instructor is doing underneath the water. So you have to be a little bit more description in water than land, because it's not visual. It's all through description.
Okay. So, Angela, now I had the privilege of meeting you at the gym, And you are a fitness instructor. And I noticed that once a person comes in, that one of the first things they do is do an assessment. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So yeah, at least at the gym that I work at, we do a fitness assessment. We want the member to feel comfortable in the place. We want it to be their place from now on. A gym, you want to find a gym where they want to help you. They're not just there to take your money. They want you to reach your goals. So that's what we talk about in the fitness assessment. What you're wanting to do. If there's any barriers that are preventing you from reaching your goals or not feeling comfortable at the place, we do a little fitness assessment where we do body compositions. We'll either do percentage body fat. We do have an EVOLT machine where we do lean muscle mass and then percentage body fat. But it's really getting the person comfortable. Sometimes, depending on their goals, we might do a strength test or a flexibility test. It all depends. Everything depends on what the member is looking for. Mm-hmm. You can't have a general broad thing. You got to gear it towards the member.
Okay, now geared toward the member. Okay, let's talk about members who are visually impaired, blind, like myself, who come into the gym. Now, what would you do? Well, let's just say, for instance, when I first came in, it didn't seem to be a big deal to you. And tell me basically, what would you consider to be your way of handling blind and visually impaired patrons?
Okay, so for a blind or visually impaired patron, the most important thing is to get the patron to feel comfortable. Show them around the place. Use descriptive words so they can figure it out. Don't go too overboard. For instance, Florence, we went over the machines that you had used at your other gym. And then once you got comfortable, you can go through more. You just might have to spend a little more time with the person, but ultimately that's your job and you want to help them. So it's getting them comfortable, showing them around the place is the main goal. And then if there's something they do, like for instance, if we need to do something like put dots on a machine so they can feel the turning on or turning off a machine, then that's something a gym can do.
Now, with a person, I know you have people with all kind of abilities and all levels. A person that's blind, and we're talking blind specific now, that they need to be competent enough within themselves, and this is my opinion, to get around the facility without having to have hands-on getting around from the staff.
Yes.
And that's most important, that people understand that with their cane travel and some of the methods that they use, whether it's a service animal at these gyms, that they understand structured discovery and know how to be a competent cane traveler and assess the environment, because the environment may change, but your senses and your cane travel doesn't. So with that, do you have service animals at how would that be at these different facilities? Are they welcome?
We currently, of my knowledge, do not have any members who have service animals right now, at least at the one I belong to. But if that person has a service animal, the animal would be welcomed to come in with the member. That wouldn't be a problem.
Because with that, once again, there comes a responsibility of the service animals owners to make sure that the animal is well trained and mannered so that it doesn't impede upon the other patrons.
Yes.
Yes. So with that, we're going to take a little Rover bark and go to break. And we'll be right back with more information about physical fitness and training and awareness for the blind and visually impaired.
As I travel the nation, I read NFB Newsline.
I live in Valparaiso, Indiana, and I listen to my local news on NFB Newsline.
As a student, I enjoy reading current events on NFB Newsline.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
Subscribe free to NFB Newsline today.
I'm Danny Wayne Beamer, Program Manager of the Elder Blind Program at the Will Center in Terre Haute, Indiana. I introduce the NFB Newsline to seniors in 13 southwestern counties in Indiana. I also utilize the NFB Newsline for my radio station public affairs shows. The NFB Newsline. Experience it today.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
We are the nation's blind, and we read NFB Newsline.
Welcome back to this segment of the National Federation of the Blind Newsline. And we are talking with our guest today, Angie Coors, who is a fitness trainer at Live Right Fitness in Indianapolis. And Angie, now being a fitness trainer, tell me some of the things that you would tell your client who would come to you, or tell me who should come to a fitness trainer.
So who should come to anybody who doesn't know what they're doing or just has questions. Always ask questions, because the good thing about a personal trainer is they're there to make sure you don't injure yourself, to help you reach your goals. Because if you don't have a set plan going into a gym, you kind of just wander around, you're not sure what to do. And then when you don't start seeing your goals, you get frustrated, and that's when you stop going to the gym. Consistency is the key to reaching your goals. So that's the nice thing about a trainer. They're there to encourage you. They're there to motivate you. They set the plan up. You don't have to do any thinking. You just go. They tell you what to do. They count. Your job is just showing up and doing what we tell you to do.
Now, how often would you suggest a person go to the gym?
Ideally, you want to go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, because you want a combination of cardio, getting the heart rate up, getting the lungs pumping, the oxygen through, to strength training, which is weightlifting, either through machines or dumbbells. So you get a combination of a total body. That's the goal.
Okay, and is the regimen modified by a person's age, or how does that work?
Oh no, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's still, at least, you might not come 5 times a week. You might just come 3 times a week, just because you need a day of rest in between. Or even it could go down to 2, but you at least want 2 days a week. At least.
At least 2 days a week.
At least 2 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah. I've known a lady that was 90 years old that was a regular at one of the gyms. And I just admired her, because like she said, it kept her healthy, and off of medicines. Can you tell the importance of a person that has diabetes and exercise?
Oh, yes. For diabetics, you want regular physical exercise, because when you do regular exercise, it gets your blood pressure down. And so most diabetics have hypertension. So if we can get the blood pressure down where it stays regularly down and it doesn't fluctuate, that's going to improve everything. Then you have the circulation. You want to make sure you're getting blood circulation especially through the legs and the feet, because diabetics usually have feet issues. It regulates all your body functions, keeping everything more in check. Your blood sugar, your blood sugar, it helps regulate that, so you're maybe not have to take high dose of insulin.
So the individuals that, like myself, I've tried at times to, since I lost my sight, to participate in aerobic classes, spin classes, any at the classes that have instruction. And being blind, oftentimes the instructors aren't trained to instruct you with some of the commands that they give. So if they say, you know, step over here, you step over there, you know, where is here and there for us, you know? So is there any type of etiquette training that you know of for instructors for people that are blind or visually impaired?
I know they have senior instructor training, so classes that are geared towards seniors. It would depend on the certification. A lot of certifications might not say to the left, to the right, but a good instructor will adapt to their clientele. So, so that is up to the instructor. They really should adapt to the members in the class. It's just like when you have a new member versus a member who's been going to the class for a while. They give beginning moves, they give advanced moves. They just might need to change the way they teach, and they shouldn't mind that. They shouldn't mind. We like to be challenged.
Okay, now at the gym, I just kind of gathered that you have several trainers.
We do.
And so, then if, let's say for instance, if a person didn't want to come to a lady trainer, then they can request a gentleman, right?
Correct.
Okay, and so with that there at your gym, then what would you suggest as far as a person coming in and let's say a person calling in and requesting a view of your facilities, and as far as what you do there, as far as you mentioned adapting, that you have to adapt to your clientele, and I thought that was awesome. But what would you suggest to those people that are uncertain right now about coming to a gym, but know, you know, at some point they should be coming to a gym? Because a lot of times people make a lot of resolutions this time of year.
Oh yeah.
So what would you say about that, Angie?
Well, I would say call the gym, set up a tour so they can show you, take you around the gym, see if it's finding a place that's comfortable to you is the key to a gym. That and location. Location is a huge factor. But yeah, take a tour of the gym. You don't have to sign up that day. Don't feel pressured to sign up the day you go into the gym. You can go home, think about it, see if that's the right fit for you.
Well, so I know the right fit for me is to, at this point in time, because I'm coming off of a condition that I feel like when I do go back to the gym, I have to kind of restrain myself and make sure that I maybe go back to a beginner status, because it's been quite some time since I've been. So I know that you guys will recommend that to individuals coming off of different conditions or rehabs.
Yes, yes. You always want to start slow. Don't overdo it. The first day is going to be the hardest day. So even going slow, you're going to feel it the next day a little bit. But that's okay, because every time you go back, it will get a little bit easier and easier. But yeah, always start slow.
Okay, so starting slow.
Well,
We're going to take us a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to finish up our show, and we'll be right back with Ms. Coors.
The National Federation of the Blind knows that blindness is not the characteristic that defines you or your future. Every day we raise the expectations of blind people because low expectations create obstacles between blind people and our dreams. You can live the life you want. Blindness is not what holds you back.
Thousands of Indiana residents feel isolated from the world due to vision problems. Thanks to the National Federation of the Blind, visually impaired Hoosiers can hear newspapers, circulars, and magazines from across the globe.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I'm blind. I read Stars and Stripes on NFB Newsline.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
Subscribe free to NFB Newsline.
Welcome to the conclusion of today's show. We've been speaking with our guest today, Ms. Angie Coors from Live Right Fitness. Angie, would you have any last remarks for our audience today?
It's to reach your goals, to feel better, de-stress, it's just not exercise. You have to watch what you're eating. You can have the food, you just have to portion control the food. Have a variety of vegetables. Don't stick with just one thing. Mix it up because each vegetable, each fruit has different vitamins and minerals that are healthy for you, that your body needs. So it's just not exercise alone. You got to do it together.
Do it together.
Do it together.
Well, so, I just like to say, I want to thank you once again for coming on to our show and sharing so much good information about getting up and moving and keeping that heart going to have a healthy life. So thank you once again. And, thumbs up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. So join us next week on our show, and we look forward to sharing more information and awareness with you on the National Federation of the Blind Newsline show.
National Federation of the Blind, Newsline, Indiana. For more information, go to nfb-in.org or call 855-963-6476. That's 855-963-6476. The National Federation of the Blind encourages you to live the life you want.